Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. Welcome to the 478th, is that right, George? Episode of the world famous Hospital Podcast. With myself, Degs. We've got George in the building, as always. So I'm just turning my headphones up there, just so I can hear. And I've also got the legend of the Degs cast sitting. You can't see her right now, but Catalina El Dorado Harrison is sitting right there. So say hello to Kate, everyone in the chat. And yeah, I'm going to kick things off with a little dub right now. Let's do this. I'm going to show some love to people in the chat. We've got Virginia in the house. We've got Brazil. We've got Germany in the house. We've got Suck George, the real MVP. That is correct. We've got Easy K in the building. Psychedelic says, Degs, I did my first live set last week. It was lit. So yeah, flames up for Psychedelics. Let's go. Big up Cyprus. Good afternoon, D-Bro. Big up from Ireland as well, the Emerald Isle, Degs, California. We've got the Horsham Massive in the building. Wow, we are truly international today. Welcome, party people. We're going to play some new tunes. We're going to play some old tunes. Big up Ohio as well. Let's do this. So yeah, how are you guys all doing? I can see it's even Stratford, Ontario in Canada. That is incredible, man. I feel very, very lucky that we get to do this. This next track coming in, Unglued and Degs, Nothing to Lose. Right, let's give some more shout outs, party people. I want to give a massive shout out to Melissa, my good friend, having a bit of a rough time, so just send some best wishes and some love towards her way. Pick up Jar Headpiece Banger, Jerry Pollard. It's good to see a very, very, very busy chat right now. Hi from Ekaterinburg, which I imagine is Russia. I probably pronounced that really wrongly. Kate is looking at me as if to say, you're an idiot. Addy Marshall asks, can I please get a shout out, my friend? That is your shout out. Shout out, Addy Marshall. And big up Maya from Brixton. Maya is a massive fan of the podcast all the way from Brixton Village. She 100% is not in the office sitting over there, I promise you. And guys, just let me know in the chat, how is the level of the music and the mic? Is everything good? Of course, I'm here to learn, so please let me know. Okay, party people. So yeah, to everyone that's joining the chat right now, welcome to the 478th episode of the Hospital Podcast. I want to give a massive shout out to the Backstage IPA from Signature Brew. Do a lot of work with Hospital, and this is tasty, man. Thank you to my sound engineers in the chat for the feedback. That does mean a lot to me, man. Yeah, this amazing piece of music that you can hear right here is by the legendary Makoto, and it's featuring Polo and Bryson, and it's called Nexus. Greetings from Vienna, big up Vienna. Absolutely amazing country, amazing city, not country. Kate's looking at me as if to say, you're getting your geography mixed up already. And Eric asks, you said that the next two podcasts after this one will be pre-recorded. That is correct. However, we will then be back again on the 7th of June with a very, very special guest. Would you be able to actually guess this? Well, his first name's Tony, and his surname, well, I'll let you guys decide who it might be. Hello from Kazakhstan. Wow. Nathan McKay asked, when are Degs and Emily Mackis doing a D&B duet? Oh my God. I'm not on her level, mate, I'll tell you that. She is one of the most incredible vocalists in the scene right now. So yeah, salute to Emily Mackis. And I would absolutely love to do a tune with her at some point. Big up India. Oh yeah. That is Mr. London Electricity. Will be joining us on the 7th of June to celebrate a very special project. But for the meantime, some brand new music. Free me from chains and all of this reason. So this tune right here is one of my favorite tunes out right now. I don't want to talk too much over the vocal. But this is Goddard, Polo and Bryson, Lens and Javon. This is called Way Up, out on Shogun Audio. I stand on my own, I'ma show you what this Let's go. Work can do. So if I go deeper, will it be too hard to find? It never be we got it. I'm up in a new state of mind. This thing to take it way up, way up, way up. It's turned me to a taker, yeah. You know, I don't normally ask this, right? I literally got goosebumps listening to this. That's how crazy this is, right? I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. What's your ratings, people? Let me know what you think of this track in the chat. And yes, Healing. I'm not actually sure when that tune comes out. The person that it was written about is staring at me right now. Not lovingly, unfortunately. Show me the road. There was a train strike and she was on her way home, and unfortunately, because she can't get home, she's now having to look at this big brown Kenyan man instead. If I go deeper, will it be too hard to find? It never been we got it. I'm up in a new state of mind. This thing will take it way up, way up, way up. It's turned me to a taker, yeah. a bit of an older tune. And I want you guys to try and guess it. There are no prizes for this one apart from just being the coolest person in the Hospital Records chat, right? So you ready for this, yeah? So I Like Things wins. This is indeed Midnight. It is by Uncut, but this is the Mist remix. If anyone remembers the Andy C Nightlives.
Can't wait till this day is over. Can't wait for this day to be done. Can't wait, feel the end is closer. Can't keep me holding on. 'Cause I'm drawn by feeling. The night is calling me. I'm ready to start living where music flows free. Take me or leave me. I am what I will be. Live young and so free. In this reality, break through and feel it. Just like the bird is. And now you want this. Fly me, please, to bring me this.
Yeah, this is an absolute beautiful piece of music, man. And one thing I love about this podcast and being able to do this podcast is playing a mixture of old and new stuff. And of course, this next track coming in is a little bit newer. Big up the Armstrongs.
Can't get up, I must come down. Can't get the bells to stop ringing. Can't reject me, leave it now. 9 to 5 has lost its meaning. Girl, I'm sure you know this feeling. You know what's on my mind. 'Cause when the night comes, I'm leaving it all behind.
Yeah, party people, do you know what? The chat is absolutely popping off. It is every single week, but I think what we've done is we've listened to your feedback and we've realized that what we have to do is we've got to give you a bit of notice next time we do these podcasts. So from now on, what we'll do is we'll get basically the video uploaded so you get a little bit of a countdown. And there we go. So it just proves the customer is always right, aren't they, Kate? Yeah? Exactly. Right, we got some questions in the chat. Duncan Southern asks, no beer, Degs, you feeling okay? I love how alcohol is the one substance in the world, right, where if you're not drinking it, everyone's like, is there something wrong with you, bro? Is there something wrong? However, I am actually drinking it. It's Signature Brew, Backstage IPA. We've worked a lot with these guys at the label. Lennart Vortman asks, what is the oldest track you remember? I guess it would probably be something off Inside the Machine by Bad Company. I'm going to go with something like Brain Scan. I wonder if I've actually got it on here. Hopefully I might be able to give you a bit of an example. We'll see. Eric asks, Degs, will you ever collaborate with Solar? You two have the best vocals of Hospital Records. I would say that I'm in the top 10 at Hospital Records for vocals, but I don't even think there's 10 vocalists on the label. But yeah, I'd absolutely love to. I love Solar. I think she's great, and a collab is going to be certainly in the works very soon. So apparently in the chat we're getting some little crackles. George is on the case right now.
Shine starlight on anyone in hard times for everyone. There ain't really much else we can do.
I see some Snowbox gang in the chat. Anyway, this track is called A Lesson in Humility by myself. A little bit of a double, why not? We apologize if we're getting... I'm trying to do two things at once. Looking at George, he's looking a little bit panicky.
I'm trying to show the planet what it's like to be together in Swahili. It's what Roger. United, we're much better. Trials and tribulations are a cliche, but they're still the letters. So be wary of these flipping trendsetters. George, pleasure, speak your heart into existence. Know your quality is stable. Uniqueness is a virtue, but the label doesn't matter the distance.
Apologies for the sound, guys. We're trying to work it out. Yeah, can I just ask everyone, how is the sound at the moment?
Shine starlight on anyone in hard times for everyone.
Are we back? Are we back? Okay, thank you guys. Okay, I'm going to bring this track and I'm going to start this again. So thank you guys so much for letting us know about the sound. As you can tell, we are a professional record label. And, you know, sometimes these things happen, even when you're a professional or a semi-professional like me. We just big up George in the chat, please, because without George, this wouldn't actually be possible because he has to deal with this all on his own and he has to stay and deal with looking at me every 2 weeks. So, yeah, big up George. Let's go. Right, we're going to try that again, shall we? So yeah, big up everyone that's locked in, locked on. And yeah, I'm just going to go into the chat now. Dub It Loud says, why they have to speak on the music? It ruined everything. Like MCs on live performance in festival. We want music, not speak. I don't even know how to respond to that. I agree with you, mate. I'll just be quiet now. It's a podcast, but you know, I'll just be quiet.
No matter the distance, there's a seat at the table for you.
Unfortunately, the sound is a little bit messed up, but if you give us a couple of seconds, we're going to go and try and sort this out. We do apologise. If you could stick around for us, that would be amazing. And yeah, to everyone that doesn't want me to speak anymore on the podcast, or one or two people, here's your opinion. Shove it down there, nice and tightly, and walk away. See you in a bit. Party people, we are so sorry. Welcome back to the 478th episode of the Hospital Podcast. And we're going to try this again. We do apologise, and we're just hoping that this time around we'll be sorted. We're going to try this little double again. Let's do this.
Shines the light on anyone in hard times for everyone.
Part 2 in the building.
Much else we can do. No matter the distance, there's a seat at the table.
How we sounding now, people? How we sounding?
United, we're much better. Trials and tribulations are a cliche, but they're still the letter. So be wary of these flipping trendsetters. They live a life of leisure, speak your heart into existence. Know your quality is stable. Uniqueness is a virtue, but the label doesn't matter the distance.
Yeah, party people, once again, I do apologise. Thank you so much for locking on to the 478th episode. It wouldn't be an episode of the Hospital Podcast without a little bit of, technical problems that happen. And so the two tunes that you could just hear, one is by myself called A Lesson in Humility. And this amazing piece of music is some early-ish Metric. It's called Northern Lights, and it's off his album called Life Thrills. And like I said, to anyone that's locking on right now, I'll make sure that I put every single track in the description after the show, including the little technical sound fuck up. I might just call that fuck up dub or something. Do you know what I mean? All right, let's go. So some people, the sound has cut out, and for others it's not. It's because you guys are all on the stream at different times. So someone has requested this for a while in the chat, so let's do this.
Try listening to my friends. They told me, bro, it ain't worth it. You know how these things turn out in the end. But baby, I can't pretend. It's all my fault, I'm returning. It ain't so easy just to knock it on the head. When I'm feeling like I'm falling into you, because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse.
Big up to everyone in the chat room right now.
You're taking the control.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. It really means a lot.
Feeling good. Well, it was 8:21 on a Saturday, right? Had no plans to go out, just my suit for the night. Oh, another message came up, ayy. Blowing up my line, you're straight up, ayy. You tell me you got the Christmas blaze up, ayy. You're home all on your own, no makeup, ayy. So persuasive. Your techniques are creative, even when I'm trying to be evasive. Cause confidence, girl, yeah, you got it in droves. And I'm back in the whip with just my socks on my toes, cause I can't wait. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. When I'm feeling like I'm falling into you, because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, I'm watching it unfold.
Yeah, can you believe this track is nearly 5 years old now? If I had a child in 2018, yeah, Kate's looking at me as if to say, what is this analogy coming now? If I had a child 5 years ago, the kid would be 5, that'd be crazy, right? Kate's like, no, bro, no. And yes, you know, we are going to do a live podcast. I know I talked about it before, and George is like, really, are we? But we are. We're going to do it very soon.
I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, I'm watching it unfold, but I'm feeling good. I got love from your eyes, even though we know it's the worst thing that we can do. We've been lost for a while. History repeats, and every time it's like we push through.
So Dubs asks, real question, when is George on the Degs? What do you reckon, George? When's that going to happen? Couple episodes, yeah? He's coming back. And right, yeah, big salute to everyone that's locking on for the very, very first time. Oh, don't worry, we'll get George on before Christmas, no doubt about that. Right, once again, party people of the chat, welcome to episode 478. Do me a favour, who knows this tune? Whoever works out this tune first, again, is just going to be legend of the chat. Atmospherics asks, who is George? That's a good question. I don't know. Ed Russian Optical Bacteria, but this is the Pendulum remixed into Noisia Diplodocus. Yes, party people of the chat. Big up Net Sky. Original business right now. Hospital Records. Welcome to the podcast. Watch out. Right, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Old school tunes, man, they just make you want to dance like this, don't they? Badass. CFI people in the chat, who remembers this one? The legendary Taxman, and this is called Too Bad. See, I want to give a massive shout out to everyone in the chat right now, from Jerry to Atmospherics to Freshman Sticks and Snares, Bobby B, Daniel LaCroix, big up yourselves. Big up the Driller. Big up from Cape Town, South Africa. And yeah, once again, I just want to apologize for the technical difficulties. We promise we will replace the equipment before the next live. And like I mentioned earlier, Mr. Tony Coleman will come and join me on the 7th of June. So I'm going to play a little remix from Thomas Oliver of one of his tunes. I've been living with the lights out. I've been troubled by the idle sounds of the day to day. Well, I know I let you down. I did nothing to protect you. Didn't know how much you went through. And now it's too late. I wish I did more to love you. Let's go. I wish I did more to keep you safe. And if I only could, I'd build a better world for you. Struggling, sitting in your cold water. I wish I was fighting for you, keeping you close in that lonely walk, yeah. I don't wanna see you hurt or struggling, sitting in your cold water. I wish I was fighting for you, keeping you close. I wish I did more to love you. I wish I Yeah, big up from the Bay. London Electricity, One Love. What about a Thomas Oliver and a Little Sound duet? That would be dope. Who should produce that? That's a good question. If anyone in the chat has got a good idea of who should produce that, please let me know. But from my perspective, it should be Lensman. And yes, we will bring Mystery Munch back very soon, I promise. Type of some Polar and Bryson and Strategy. Who likes this tune, man? Come on, let's do this, people. We are back. Sorry about the technicals, but we are back.
They don't get no plaudits from the audience, and we ain't hearing no applause from the auditorium. I snuck it in my jacket, had it stashed inside the inner lining. Couple shots I got 'em oscillating, we ain't synthesizing. Trying to make a couple notes, that's how we got 'em gliding. Trying to slide on the society, we ostracizing. We ain't city centre living, now we're in the bits. Came to put 'em in the deep sleep, it's the anaesthetist.
Is that worth a reload, George? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Yeah? Wow. When did this tune come out? 2022, maybe? I don't know if I can see the description. I can. It is in 2022. This is Polar and Bryson and the incredible Manchester MC and just general all-round funny personality, legend, and really, really nice guy to hang out with. Strategy. And yeah, like I said, this track is called Anaesthetist. And the reason why I wanted to pull it back is because I believe that intro deserves me to leave it alone. And you know what? Like the guy earlier who said, I'm so sick of MCs at live events, man. With the I don't know what, is that what he sounds like? I'm just going to guess that's what he sounds like. He's probably got a point. So I'm going to let this tune do the talking. People in the chat, let me know what you think of this track. And also I want to give a massive shout out to Mr. Blitz, who says, hi Degs, here is your most devoted Argentine locking in, locking on. You know what, mate? I would rather you locked in than Lionel Messi. How about that? It's true, George, it's true. I prefer Mr. Blitz. Melissa says, no more talk, just music. I do apologize if I'm appropriating anyone's culture or accent right now. I don't mean to. I'm a massive idiot. Let's go.
Plaudits from the audience, and we ain't hearing no applause from the auditorium. I snuck it in my jacket, had it stashed inside the inner lining. Couple shots I got 'em oscillating, we ain't synthesizing. Trying to make a couple notes, that's how we got 'em gliding. Trying to slide on the society, we ostracizing. We ain't city centre living, now we're in the bits. Came to put 'em in the deep sleep, it's the anaesthetist. Anesthetics putting them to sleep is the anaesthetist. Man are getting buried, if anything will be ferried off the Caribbean Sea, off the coast of Central America. All my whips always changing gears and you didn't hear it. Fully did it and didn't have any interfering. Looking over we couldn't ever see any ceiling. Life is dark but we living in it forever.
Thank you guys so much for the support in the chat. You know when I take the piss and I'm talking about people talking over the music or MCs live or anything like that, and then Danny on PC says it, there was once an MC during Fox Stevenson, and I take it Stan, Fox Stevenson is his name, and he played a lyric tune and the MC was just yapping through it. Can I be perfectly honest with you guys right now? Like, when I first started out, I didn't really understand what the protocol was when it came to kind of like MCing, hosting. I just wanted to shell out bars and all the rest of it. And as a result of that, I used to do exactly the same thing. So all I'm saying is give people a bit of time to learn and to grow, because it took me a good few years to really understand that. If there's a vocal, don't spit your latest bar, just be quiet. I'll see what I can do. So yeah, coming up next is some brand new music from a project that I'm involved in called Hologram. And it's called Valve. Now, of course, big up yourselves for the reaction to this tune. As we have mentioned, Mr. Tony Coleman, $1 Billion Gravy, his seminal album, is 20 years old. 20 years ago, how old was I, George? I was 14. I don't want to ask anyone in the chat what they thought I was doing when I was 14 years old. This is $1 Billion Gravy. It is the Watch the Ride remix. Yeah, big up graphics on this one. This track right here is called Distress. Big up Scott Connolly, who is locked in right now with banana pie. He says banana pie and Degs. Big up Brooks, my friend. So yeah, to everyone that is joining us right now, welcome to the 478th episode of the Hospital Podcast. And if you've just joined now, you missed out all of the technical difficulties that we had earlier. I just want to give a massive shout out to King George, who fixed everything perfectly. So I'm going to play something from Justin Hawke's incredible latest album. This track is called Tragedy Humanity. Big up Loa in the chat. I've got one of yours coming soon, my friend, on today's episode. So yeah, this amazing piece of jungle music right here is by Drum Sound and Bassline Smith, and it's called Jungle Dreams. Cloud Eris Sepiroth asks, is this a Kenya national shirt? This is our national football shirt, I believe from about 2015, 16. If I don't get this right, my mum, she's going to go, Andrew, Degwa, you're a bad boy, and she'll just slap me.
Jungle Dreams.
Do you know what? I've just seen a message that generally has just warmed my heart. And it's from Enigma 88G, and I definitely remember this, my friend. He says, yes, Degs, I messaged you via Insta in December whilst I was in hospital dealing with the big C. I got the all clear last month. Thanks for the good wishes. Stay safe, everyone. Enigma 88G. Can we just get some love hearts in the chat for Enigma 88G, man? That is a beautiful story. My friend, I can't imagine everything that you've been through. And I'm so happy to hear that you've got the all clear. And you know what? I'm going to dedicate the rest of the podcast to you, my friend. So yeah, kick back, have a great time, and big up yourself, my friend. Big up.
This is what we do.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely amazing. Just looking at the amount of love hearts that I can see in the chat for Enigma. And, you know, I just want to give a massive shout out, love and respect to anyone that is suffering, either physically or mentally right now. It's so good to see solidarity in the chat, solidarity in the human race. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
This is what we do. 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 This is what we do.
Yes, Chuck. Representing the Kenyan flag always. Habari yako, my friend. Let's do this.
You ready? It's time. To work it.
Hey Joe, come on here, man, and give me a smoke over that Joe. You can't make it go down,
And yeah, Cloud, you are correct. That is exactly what we do. You know, one thing I love about this podcast and this little community that we've built together, which of course is an extension of the amazing podcast that Tony Coleman London Electricity put together. Over 400 episodes, over 10 years in the game. All I'm merely doing is a B-Tech version of what he does. And because we love our community so much, and I feel, I don't know, like liquid music feels like healing music. So I'm going to play a little piece from DRS, LSB, and Tyler Daly. Big up Omar from Phoenix, Arizona. Jar Headpiece Banger says, someone save me from work, please. I wish I could do something, my friend. Give me your boss's number. I'll be like, let him go now.
The only thing that ever really changed was the view. Now I know I'll never be the same 'cause of you. It's been a long, long time since I had you here. Oh. And now that you're so close, when all that I need most is some time away from you.
What an amazing piece of music. DRS.
The only thing to ever change is the feeling out of range. Pushing all the right buttons, I can feel it, all the flames. Drawing me closer at the same time, pushing me. Building me up, but at the same time, crushing me. Bittersweet symphony, falling, no cushioning. Impatient stakeout, premature rushing in. It never starts where it begins. We was made to fly, so that's why my heart's one on my
Honestly, I genuinely am seeing some really, really nice comments in the chat.
My life's a drummer,
And I appreciate, you know,
but I won't give in.
whenever something changes, especially 400 episodes, and it's always been the same with Tony. And Tony is an amazing podcaster, an amazing orator, and obviously knows so much about our music. So the fact that anyone thinks I'm doing a half decent job is a great thing. So thank you so much. Tyler Daly's time.
The only thing that ever really changed was the view. Now I know I'll never be the same 'cause of you. It's been a long, long time since I had you here. Oh. And now that you're so close, when all that I need most is some time away from you.
Wow. So you know, I mentioned, I saw Low Art in the chat earlier. So I'm going to play one of his tunes, and this is probably one of my favorites from him. He's got an amazing discography. And this dude is also from the same hometown as me. And he's a really, really nice guy. So big up, Ben. This is Low R, Leo Woods, 6R, In the Moment. Yes, headphone Eden, big up my friend. It's good to see you in the chat.
Each day through a screen, I was flicking through someone else's dreams. Be here now with me, only here with me. After I have breathed, finally I see it clearly.
Hold on a moment, put the phone away. So many moments captured but thrown away. Actually be in the moment and be blown away. It's the only way, it's the only way. What do you mean, what do I mean? You can be watching what you're watching and not watching through a screen. No filter, lose yourself in the now. And expect to be wild. Embrace the present, a little taste of heaven. Before it's all erased, it only takes a second. It's not replaced for seconds. So when you face the blessings, immerse yourself. No sidetracks, no Samsungs, iPhones or iPads. No vids, pics, boomerangs or time lapse. No distractions, just look at what's in front of you. Truth be told, you know that's really what you want.
So Nathan McKay asked, can you mix some hip hop with jungle like Freaky Flow did frequently? That was a bit of a tongue twister, like Freaky Flow did frequently. I like it. Do you know what? I'll do a podcast with a little bit more hip hop. I've actually got one tune from The Roots I'm going to play right at the end of the podcast, but I'm not really going to mix it in. I just want to kind of talk about it because it was a tune that, you know, was like a massive part of my childhood. So yeah, I wanted to play it for you guys. And yeah, I want to give a massive shout out to all the Forza Horizon gang. Having to listen to my voice constantly whilst they're driving around supercars. Right, time for some Unglued off his debut album Interplanetary Radio. This track is called South by West. So yeah, King Veer asked for a double skill song. What I might do, if it's okay with you guys up for hearing something really, really new from myself and the New Zealand legends Lee Matthews. If you guys were at Printworks over the weekend, or last weekend before now, you probably would have heard this. You know, someone asked me who won the bet, Degs, for the Hot Wheels in Forza Horizon 5. I actually don't know. Yeah, I'm not a very good host, am I? Let's be honest. Right, I'm going to play you guys some brand new music. I just got to try and find it on my sticks somewhere. Brand new, let's do this.
I held you close in the middle Whenever demons came, but still you reached new lows. I tried to stop you falling under, the edge was close, but yet we found a way. You took it easier, so you were free from the weight of the world like you floated. Couldn't find where the pieces were, so you eased up the tension, went back through the motions. So when you feel far gone, just remember the times when we were never broken. Ooh, yeah, we're floating. Ooh, yeah, we're floating.
So yeah, big up people, big up for the reaction in the comments. This track is with the incredible producers from New Zealand, and they're called Lee Matthews. So yeah, big up everyone that went to Printwise, and big up all you guys in the chat right now.
In the midst of tribulations, I could have run. Promise I'm glad I stayed, because it gave me hope to track a human from the dungeons and see another light of day. You took it easier, so you were free from the weight of the world like you floated. Couldn't find where the pieces were, so you eased up the tension, went back through the motions. So when you feel far gone, just remember the times when we were never broken. Ooh, yeah, we're floating. Ooh, yeah, we're floating.
So yeah, that piece of music will be coming out, forthcoming on Lee Matthews' album. I'm not 100% sure actually when it comes out. I'm pretty sure it's quite soon, right? I'm looking at Kate, she has no idea either, but there we go. We got Metric. Big up Shonas from Finland. He says, yes, finally made it to join the live stream. Master Degs, your lousy jokes. Yeah, they're pretty fucking lousy, I'm not gonna lie. And music helped me through the dark winter. Greetings from Finland. Big up my friend. Love and blessings. Big up. So yeah, just to let you guys know what the track is, this is by the legendary Metric, and it's called We Are The Energy. It is out right now, so Shazam it, Spotify, Amazon Music, it's out right now. So I'm gonna play something a little bit older. Who remembers this?
carry. Them done go already and them can't say them sorry, yeah. Slew them and they feeling them a carry. Who want them something again? Wait for what you with him. Who them a good a watch and them a try. Them got this king till I see what you all of them die, yeah. Who them a make us see them with them spell. Then this the money when and them go down and hell, yeah. Who them a good a who them Marcus. Them this Marcus I know them all by the dust, yeah. Who them a make us tell them this girl. Tell them them can't this mama home. You know see a dead man them. Dumpy man them and I not know with them if I can't be but them. Them don't hand them and be a dead man them. Them don't not like me, we don't not like them. Tell them something and keep no funny man friend. Tell them something and keep no sada man friend. Tell us to blow me try the raggy road them. That's why I am. Who them a could have what them a try. Them this thing still I say what you all of them die out. Who them a make us see them with them smell. Them this a man me well and them so down and hell out. Who them a could have what them a try. Them got this thing still I say what you all of them die out. Who them a make us see them with them smell. Them this a man me well and them so down and hell out. Who them a could have who them Marcus. Them this Marcus I know them all by the dust, yeah. Who them a make us tell them this learn. Tell them them can't this mama hurt. You know see a dead man them. Dumpy man them and I not know with them if I can't be born them. Them don't hand them a be a dead man them. Them don't not like me, we don't not like them. Tell them something now. Tell them something now. Tell them that's why I am. The bass to down.
Hey, this tune's too much, man. Are we allowed one more reload? Is that right? One more? George is like, yeah, go on in. Go on in. Oh, wow. So, party people of the chat, welcome one and all to the 478th version of the Hospital Podcast with myself, Degs. I have King George in the background who's doing all the sound. Big love and salute to King George. And of course, the amazing Katarina El Dorado Harrison, who is sitting over there wondering when it's time to go home and eat some food. This track right here is by Asylum and it's called The Bass Too Dark. And Scott Connolly says, oh Lord, I grew up on these tracks, G. Well, this one's for you, my friend.
The bass too dark. 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 The bass, the bass, the bass, the bass, the bass too dark. The bass, the bass, the bass.
We're going to switch it up, some jungle business.
The bass, the bass.
I am super
Right music from Scientific. This track is called Wild Child. Hey yo! How cheeky is it to ask Kate to go get me one more beer? Is that bad? Hi, people in the chat. Degs is sweating. Am I allowed to have one more beer? Is that correct? Yes? Yes? All right, we'll say yes. Cheers to everyone in the chat. Sausage says one more beer or riot. I agree with that, my friend. So unfortunately, we are coming towards the end of the podcast, but I'm still going to play a few. Eric says Degs is going to get that beer thrown at his head. That is very true. Right, because I love you guys so much, and of course, you had to deal with all of the technical difficulties earlier. I'm going to play you a track with a legendary producer called Heist, featuring myself, and it is out on Friday. This track is called The World at Play. It's a slightly different take on Liquid. Hope you guys are ready.
Now I've seen the world at play. I just want us to be free of pain, finding ways we can evolve instead of holding on. If we sink our hearts go away.
I never flex that I don't care about you. Ain't insecure like that. Got years behind my back to drive me forward in this life. To keep my promises on track. My mama taught me to surround myself with those who do exactly that. And yeah, it stood me in good stead in recent years. Whose loyalty is rationale to overcome my fears. I put my trust in those with knowledge. Let pretenders disappear. I'm armed with confidence and intellectual souvenir. And yeah, now I recognize what's truly in my grasp. This breakthrough is a positive, so I hope the feeling lasts. No more being hopeless, feeling dark. Now I've got a handle. Overstretching was the norm, burning both ends of the candle. So I've learned to have the balance, keep my distance from the scandals. Cause half the time the drama's really unsubstantial. No fulfillment is enjoyed from seeing red. So tonight it's me and you, we're breaking bread.
Now I've seen the world at play. I just want us to be free of pain, finding ways we can evolve instead of holding on. If we sink our hearts go away.
And as you probably saw live, thank you so much to Kate. Catalina El Dorado Harrison. Make some noise in the chat for Kate for bringing me my last beer of this fun podcast. And Mr. Hawk, I will make sure that we do something very, very live soon. I think Kate deserves more than a hug for that, to be fair. I think maybe I should cook dinner for once. She's like, don't get too brave in the kitchen, bruv. Come on. But yeah, I just want to give a massive shout out to Heist. Pick up Heist, man. Wicked to finally make a track together. Let's go.
Driving up to your mum's house and I see you shining that entrance. You're the only girl in this dumb town that will ever sit in my preference. And I can't believe I only met you now, I can hardly finish my sentence. A different energy that you create, and I could write a million songs, no struggle to encapsulate the atmosphere around your steps, the innocence and personal traits. Yeah, cause I've been here on my own, never distant but alone. And yeah, I've had a few partners, but most of them are so cold. Hey. And most are out on my zone. I don't profess to be individual, there's anomalies in my soul. There's contrast in these pieces and not all of them are so whole. I've taken a few beatings, been on the devil's payroll. Future me is more grace, yeah. Future me is more feeling, yeah. The future me is more ways, but the present me is more fight. And the present me is more range. Me and you will make the grade.
Yeah, big salute to the chat room right now. So this track is out on Collab. It is out this Friday, the 28th of April. I just saw What a Lyric and I just, mixed the two together, as I always do. But yeah, it's out on the 28th of April, this Friday, with the legendary Heist. Of course, Goldie is former engineer. And yeah. And yeah, once again, that second verse was kind of written about this Catalina El Dorado over there, so yeah. Everyone's like, oh, that's sweet, isn't it? It's sweet. Thank you guys so much for locking on. This has been episode 478. We get to the end of the podcast, and I usually say I'm going to play one more tune. Of course, I'm probably going to play a couple more tunes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with an absolute classic of drum and bass music. And to be honest, recently for these podcasts, and I know I've had a few sort of messages and comments and even a couple of emails, and people are just saying, like, I love the fact that you're digging through the vaults a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do a little bit more. And honestly, before, dubsfordegs@gmail.com was more about you guys sending your music in, and obviously if I like it, I'm going to play it. It's as simple as that. But actually now I want to open it up to everyone, basically. So if you have a favorite tune, you have a tune that you'd like, tune that you want to hear on the podcast, please let me know all your suggestions. That's Dubs, and that's FOR. I'm not cool enough to do it like the 4, like Dubs 4 Degs. It's Dubs FOR. George is like, you're such a boomer, bro. Such a loser. So I'm going to play this tune. And do you know what? Jerry said, did I miss the Degsklusive? I might actually have to play another track as a Degsklusive because I don't think I've done that yet. I haven't, have I? Okay, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play a Degsklusive, and I'm going to play one more. So yeah, I want to give a massive shout out to absolutely everyone in the chat room. Thank you for locking on to the podcast. I really appreciate it. And it's time to go to the shadows. an absolute tune this is. So yeah, like I said, one thing about this podcast, I'm always going to try and play music from all the eras, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the 2020s. And imagine in like 7 years' time, 6 years' time, we're going to be in the 2030s, man. And it kind of looks like AI is taking over the world, right? So the other day, I was on, King Veer just said everyone has a long dark tunnel. And I don't really know how to react to that, to be fair. But the other day, I follow a few like sort of AI accounts on Instagram, and there was like a couple of tunes. One is by Drake, another one by Kanye West, of them singing WAP. I don't need to say what the actual like tune is because it's kind of rude, but yeah, and it was actually spot on. So I mean, I'll be honest, how do you guys feel about, I mean, just kind of one of my last questions, before I load up the Degs exclusive, how do you guys feel about AI? Do you think it's going to take away from creativity? Do you think it's going to add to it? What do you feel like, I mean, how do you feel about it? Because I'm not sure, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit regulated, and you know, George is looking at me as if to say, oh, George said that maybe the AI can fix the audio issues. It's a good fucking point, to be fair. So yeah, I'd be really, really interested, because you know, and Adrian just said it already has infiltrated it, and I think it's actually already a massive, massive part of music. Mr. Blitz says, there's always a man in the middle. Right now, it's only a tour. Rekiel says, who knows? One thing is for sure, it's here to stay. Amayin has, he says that I have no thoughts on it at the moment. I'll be honest with you, that's kind of, in a way, how I feel. I kind of feel like, it's like any technology, right? So, you know, back in the day, we used to mix on a fucking broken pair of Newmark plate, like fucking belt drives with 2p coins, fucking weighing it down and all the rest. But, you know, I find it amazing, like, all of a sudden then it was CDs, and then now even these new 3000s, I don't even think, no, they don't. They actually don't actually have a CD. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know they haven't got a CD. So then you go from that to then kind of, I know there's a massive argument in D&B at the moment about, like, the sync button and all the rest of it. I'll be honest, I don't really care about that. But AI takes it to another level. And, you know, someone, King Veer says Hospital Podcast 1000 with AI Degs. Nathan says Degs featuring AI Degs. I mean, that is too much Degs, bro. I can't. I have to look at him in the mirror every day, so that's bad enough for me. No AI could do George's job better. Honestly, Eric, well fucking said. Well said. Mr. Blitz says, some stuff I've seen is really creepy, like Napoleon Bonaparte taking a selfie. That is really fucking weird. Because what? Napoleon died like 200 years ago. But anyway, before this becomes a massive discussion about AI, I just think we're entering a brave new world. It's going to be very, very strange to see exactly what developments. It seems like every single day I log on to like Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, it looks like there's been another development. So there's like an AI version. There's like an AI rapper on SoundCloud with like fucking 10 million monthly listeners or something. But yeah. Should we continue, George? So anyway, Jerry says I'm funny. I don't think I'm that funny, to be fair. Should we exclusive it? Should we do it? Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the people around the world, it is time for the Degs exclusive.
That's right. Yes. So this is a Degs exclusive. It's not a new tune. It's actually a slightly older tune. It's by two of my very, very favorite artists in the world, DJ Markey and Logistics, and this track is called Hummingbird. Big up Carl from South Africa. Shona says something quite interesting. As long as you give credit for the ones that deserve it, I think it's cool. Do you know what, mate? I think that's actually quite a reasonable opinion, to be fair. I think I agree with that. Let's go. Okay, because everyone loves logistics, right? Before I play the very, very last tune, I'm going to play an absolute classic from the man himself. So yeah, for anyone that was at Printworks, Matt Logistics played his first set in what has been a very, very long time, back-to-back with New Tone, featuring the legendary Harry Shotter for 2 hours. Is that right, George? 2 hours. Oh my God. It was an amazing set. I can't wait to see the footage. It's going to be sick. King Veer says, how do we know we aren't talking to the AI Degs right now? King George is behind this all. George, I think he's onto you, bro. I think, yeah, George is hiding. The AI version of George is hiding because he set this whole thing up, bro. Scott Connolly is back and he asks, is George wearing a pink hippo suit? George is nodding his head saying yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for locking on to the 478th version of the Hospital Podcast. So a few things. The next live date will be on the 7th of June, 2023. AI version of George is looking at me as if to say, he's going through the computer going, ding, 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 ding. That is correct. In fact, this is AI right now. And yeah, so that will be out. And then what else have we got coming? We got what? Two pre-records. So the 7th of June is with, of course, Mr. Tony Coleman, which is celebrating the $1 Billion Gravy remix album project. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be great to be back on here with Tony. I don't know how many of you guys in the chat have seen the very first podcast that I was involved in back in 2018, which was with Tony. And Tony was obviously doing the hosting and I was kind of like the guest. And you could see how nervous, much skinnier, more nervous version of me, basically. So feel free to go back and watch that and see how much of a mess I was. And hopefully I've improved and got a little bit more confident. But yeah, so we have that on the 7th of June. And then we also have 2 pre-records, which will come out in the weeks in May, every 2 weeks before that. So yeah, the last thing I want to say is big love to everyone that I saw at Printworks. It was an amazing time. I'm really, really looking forward to Hospitality on the Beach, where I believe we're going to hopefully be able to do another podcast from there as well. It's back in our spiritual home of Tisno in Croatia. So I hope to see some of you guys there. I'll be back out in the US in July and August. Might have to put George in my suitcase looking at the comments because I think they really want you to come with, George. And I can't afford to pay for your ticket, unfortunately. They don't pay us enough here. But yeah, this is the very, very last tune. This track, again, what I've been doing a lot more. In fact, I don't think I've done it in the last podcast, but just kind of play music that I grew up listening to. And this is a seminal piece of music, one that really defines me as a person. I think, anyway, you know, they probably don't agree with this. This is The Roots, what they do. To the chat, to everyone, thank you so, so much. Genuinely, I really appreciate the support. I know we get the odd comments saying like, bro, shut up, it's a podcast, but I love how it's all love. Like we have a little bit of banter, we have a little bit of fun, but the most important thing is that we're here for drum and bass music. And lastly, and most importantly, one more time, can we give a massive shout out to Enigma, who has beaten the Big C. And I believe, hopefully they're still listening and they're in the chat. But I had a great conversation with them over on Instagram. And yeah, much love, respect, and best wishes to Enigma. This last track, what they do.
lost generation, fast-paced nation, world population confront their frustration. The principles of true hip-hop have been forsaken. It's all contractual and about money making. Pretend to be cats, don't seem to know their limitation. Exact replication and false representation. You wanna be a man, then stand your own. To MC requires skills, I demand some shown. I let the frauds keep fronting and roam like a cellular phone far from home, giving crowds what they wantin'. Official hip-hop consumption, the fifth thumping, keeping your party jumping with an original something. Yo, I dedicate this to the one dimension now, no imagination, excuse for perpetration. My man came over and said, Joe, we thought we heard you. Jokes on you, you heard a biting ass true, but never do. Love and hatred, the game is ill-natured, it's nothing sacred. And yo, it's funny what I see some rap niggas do to make it. A few will blow up or go as far as they can take it. My 9 to 5 is just to hit you, get the party live. I'm Black Thought, used to rap for sport. Now the rhyme saying rent, paying life support. I take it very seriously. Within this industry, it's various crews that try to touch me, but I come with the beautiful things, and I bless the track plushly. Around the world, crowds love me from doing tours. Recipient of applause from all of you and yours. Creator of original sounds that's in the stores you take home to absorb and sweat it out your pores. Now who can stop the music running through these veins? Infinitely go against the grain. That's why my motto is to never do.
Thank you guys so much. One love. Be good to each other. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you on the 7th of June. But in the meantime, like I said, be good to each other. And see you soon.